शुद्धज्ञानेकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानेकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
We're deeply privileged yet again, and today in a very different way, because the experience and the bhagyam of being on Ganga. Ganga is not a river, Ganga is Mata, and to be held in Mata's lap and to spend the next few hours in Bhagavat Nama Sankirtanam is a blessing and a sankalpam of the divine that has manifested for all of us today. So expressing our gratitude to again Jaganmata is Kali, who is waiting for us in Dakshineswar, but Ganga, who is holding us now, and the one whose blessings we need to make this ferry completely successful with absolutely no viknams. So we therefore begin with an invocation to Ganapati.
Mudakarattamodakam sada vimukti sadhakam Kanadharavatam sakam Vilasilokarakshakam Anayakaikanayakam Vinashite bhadaityakam Natashubhashunashakam Namamitam Vinayakam Namamitam Vinayakam गाये गणपति जगवन्दना गाये गणपति जगवन्दना शङ्कर सुवन भवानी शङ्कर सुवन भवानी गाये गणपति जगवन्दना गाये गणपति जगवन्दना शङ्कर सुवन भवानी शङ्कर सुवन भवानी सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सफलायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सफलायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सफलायक गाये गणपति जगवन्दना शङ्कर सुवन भवानी सिद्धि विनायक मूर्ति की जय.
As we take a minute to adorn ourselves with Namavali, with Ganapati's blessings, it is appropriate to really express a lot of gratitude for being able to be on the Ganga or in the lap of Ganga, because this is not an ordinary fortune. This is one land that has always venerated not just Ganga, not just Yamuna, but every river goddess, every Nadi is a Mata. And when the goddess or when the river goddess becomes a Mata, she is naturally somebody who allows her children many different kinds of experiences. And I can't help but recall one very beautiful instance when Ganga showed, and Ganga allowed Ramakrishna Paramhansa to see something very beautiful. This is what happens to him in Kashi, when in one of his visits to Kashi, when he is on the boat in Ganga, just like we all are, when he was passing through Manikarnika Ghat, at that time, Paramahamsa saw something extraordinary at the banks of Manikarnika Ghat, and nobody else saw what he was seeing. Everybody else just saw that in Manikarnika Ghat, the cremations were happening, because that is a ghat that is associated with this for a host of reasons. And when Paramahamsa was in the boat, he teared up and he became very silent. Much later, he told his students about what he experienced when he was in the ghat. And he saw from the boat that as a body was burning, he saw a light rise from one of the cremation pyres. And he saw a dark lady coming from inside the city of Kashi. That dark lady, Shyama, she picked up that little jyoti and she placed it on her lap. After she did this, she turned inside towards the city of Kashi, and somebody else came out again. He is white, she is dark, and he is white. Shuddha Spatika Sankasham, as he is called. He is the color of glowing quartz. And he arrived, he took this jyoti, and he turned the jyoti towards its left ear down. I mean, of course, jyoti doesn't have ears, but he turned it towards its left side and whispered something into the jyoti, and that jyoti got absorbed into him. This is what Paramahamsa saw, and many years later, when he spoke about it to his students, is when his students, of course, they documented it in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, but this is also a beautiful way to observe how Paramahamsa's sadhana was so intense, and Ganga gave him an experience that is spoken about in the Skanda Puranam, in the Kashi Khandam. This experience is spoken about, that those who leave their bodies in Manikarnika Ghat, what happens over there is that Parvati, call her Gauri, call her Kali, she picks up the jiva over there and she prepares the jiva for Vishwanatha's arrival. And when Vishwanatha comes, Kashi is not Mokshapuri just like that. Kashi is Mokshapuri because there Vishwanatha gives Upadesham, and that is why you will observe something phenomenal that happens till date. If anybody dies in Manikarnika Ghat or in Kashi till date, no matter what position the body is brought in, when it is about to be cremated, the left ear is always moved this way, because Vishwanatha turns it himself and he whispers the Taraka Mantram into the ears of the one who is gone. What that Taraka Mantram is, we don't know, but this is what Paramahamsa himself saw and experienced. What is written somewhere in a text was brought into his own experience, and all of this he experienced sitting in the lap of Ganga. So we thought it was a fitting homage to pay tribute to Ganga as the one who removes all those kinds of kalushams within us. Rogam, Shokam, Papam, Tapam, Harame, Bhagavati, Kumati Kalapam, Adi Shankaracharya says. And once we pay homage to her like that, then we start to see that she is not a river goddess, she is our mother. She is Ganga Maya or Ganga Mata.
देवी सुरेश्वरी भगवती गंगे त्रिभुवनता तरन तरंगे शंकर मौलि विहारिणी गमने मम मतिरास्ता तव पदकमले पदकमले रोगं शोकं तापं हर मे भगवती रोगं शोकं तापं पापं हर मे भगवती कुमतिकलापं त्रिभुवनसारे वसुधाहारे त्वमसि गतिः मम खलु संसारे संसारे गंगे मां पाहि गंगे मां पाहि गंगे मां पाहि गंगे मां पाहि गिरीश शिरस्थिते गंगे मां पाहि गिरीश शिरस्थिते गंभीरकाये 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 संगीतवाद्यप्रिये गंगे मां पाहि गिरीश शिरस्थिते गंभीरकाये संगीतवाद्यप्रिये अङ्गजतातमुदे असि वरुणा मध्ये अङ्गजतातमुदे असि वरुणा मध्ये अक्रूरपूजिते 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 अखिल जनानदे अक्रूरपूजिते अखिल जनानदे सकल तीर्थमूले सद्गुरु गुहलीले सकल तीर्थमूले सद्गुरु गुहलीले बरजन्नु बाले व्यासादि कृपाले बरजन्नु बाले व्यासादि कृपाले गंगे मां पाहि गिरीश शिरस्थिते गंभीरकाये गंभीरकाये
Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, so many rivers in this country that have been cradles to so many civilizations. But apart from that very evident nature of the rivers, these rivers have also held our devatas close. Because Rama, in the Ramayanam, the Ganga plays a very interesting role in Rama's own journey there. And perhaps for this reason also we see that many instances in the Ramayana, of course, are connected to Ganga. But it's beautiful how, in many ways, Ramayana that we touched upon yesterday in terms of Paramhansa's own experience with Rama, that would not be complete unless we finished what we began yesterday. Yesterday we spoke about how to become or to attain Raghuvira, Paramahamsa took on the bhavam of Hanuman, so he took on the bhavam of Mahavira. But something very beautiful happens over there, which we decided we wanted to speak about here, because we are in the lap of the feminine energy. And when Paramahamsa was doing sadhana of Rama as Hanuman, when he was Hanuman, he was being Hanuman, he was embodying Hanuman, he was doing sadhana for Rama very seriously for a very long time. But again, he is a Paramahamsa, so Siddhi comes to him very easily. And he describes the first time that he sees Rama. But he sees Rama first as a Jyoti, and he himself tells his students later that alongside that Jyoti, I saw a woman. I wasn't sure if she was a goddess, and I was confused because typically goddesses and gods do not place their feet on the ground. This is always a way that you can figure out whether they are a god or not. So he says she was not placing her feet on the ground, so I didn't know she was a goddess. So I was concluding that she was a human. But when I looked at her, the radiance from her was so much. Then I wondered if she's a goddess, does she have 4 hands? But she had only 2 hands. And she came and she immediately stood on the left side of Rama. She's Sri Rama Vamabhagam. She stood on that left side of Rama and she smiled. As soon as she smiled is when Ramakrishna Paramhansa, who has now become Hanuman, that is when he looked at that Jyoti that was next to her, and then only did that Jyoti convert itself to Rama. So a very beautiful idea is hidden here, that if Hanumat Bhavam is necessary to experience Rama, without Sita's blessing, Rama is absolutely unattainable. Just like how without Radha, Krishna cannot be attained. Similarly, Paramahamsa spoke about how Sita was that medium that allowed him to experience Rama. Perhaps for the same reason, many, many years later, when Swami Vivekananda spoke abroad, he said that if all other characters of all other epics are kept on one side and Sita alone on one side, we can reconstruct this entire nation, because that was his understanding of Sita. So Sita as a goddess, Sita as Mahatripura Sundari, is a phenomenal force that Paramahamsa had experience of directly, and also important for us to understand that without her, Rama cannot be accessed. That is why it is Ramaya Rama Bhadraya, Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya. It ends with Sitaya Pataye Namaha. He can be all of those things, but because he is Sitapati, he becomes ours. So we take you into that bhavam of seeing both of them together, because they are just, again, 2 facets of the same idea, Purusha and Prakriti.
Ramaya Rama Bhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Puni puni kitne ho sune sunaye. Puni puni kitne ho sune sunaye. फिर भी प्यास बुझत न बुझाए. फिर भी प्यास बुझत न बुझाए. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी. प्रभु सुनु दशरथ अजिर बिहारी. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. राजा रामचंद्र मूर्ति की जय.
The difficulty with Ramacharitam is once it comes, none of us feel like stopping. So although we wanted to move on to beautiful other aspects, I think it's also a lovely time to look at that bhavam of Hanuman that Paramahamsa became. What is it about this character? Undoubtedly, he is Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam. If Ramayanam is a haram, he is the pendant of that haram. But when looked at from that perspective, Hanuman also represents that ability to immediately take a bhakta and to place him at Rama's feet. There is a beautiful story about Hanuman who did this for another bhakta. And this particular bhakta, just like Paramahamsa wanted to see Kali, this bhakta wanted to see Rama. And he was told once that if you really want to see Rama, you don't have to worry too much, because every evening when you give a discourse on the Ramayana, on the Ramcharitramanas, somebody is coming very quietly and sitting at the corner, and as soon as the discourse is over, this person goes. So you just go and talk to him after your pravachanam one day, and he will immediately take you to Rama. Who is the person who is giving the pravachanam? This is Goswami Tulsidas himself. And when Tulsidas has this burning desire to see Rama, he observes for many days that there is one person who is coming, and he just sits in the corner. As soon as the pravachanam is over, he leaves. So one day after the pravachanam is over, Tulsidas goes to him and he says, I know who you are. He falls at his feet and he says, I know who you are. Please take me to Rama. So the old man says, who am I? I'm just a normal person. He says, Swami, don't do the natakam here. I know who you are. Please take me. So he says, what do you want? He says, I want to just see him once. He said, his darshanam is not easy. Plus, it's not that I can tell you he'll come here at this appointed time. Suddenly he may appear in some place. Are you ready? I will just give you 1 minute notice. You have to come. So Tulsidas agreed, and he says, of course, I will come whenever you call me. And various occasions happen like this. When Tulsidas is waiting for Raghuvira, and at this point, something or the other happens and he misses seeing him. Even though Hanuman gives him the heads up saying, he's about to come, he altogether misses it. And one episode is detailed out very beautifully when, this is almost the last time, because now what has happened is, Hanuman says, look, how many times to tell you? Every time I tell you, you get so mesmerized by the form. It's not that Tulsidas is distracted. It's just that every time Raghuvira comes in front of him, Tulsidas loses all his sense of consciousness, just like what happened with Paramahamsa. So this time Hanuman tells him that you have to be alert when he is coming. So he gives Tulsidas a plan. He says, sit at the banks of Chitrakuta and over there make chandanam. And as you are making that sandalwood paste, apply tika for everybody who comes. In one of those people, I'm sure Raghuvira will come. I will become a parrot on the tree and I will tell you when Raghuvira is coming. So Tulsi is so excited that Raghuvira is going to come, and he sits person by person applying tika, hoping that Raghuvira is going to be the next person. Now as the line proceeds, Tulsi feels that there is some light that is coming, but this light is also so distracting and so giddying that Tulsi is slowly losing consciousness of himself. And when Raghuvira comes and sits in front of him, Tulsi has lost all sense of, all his senses have dissolved into that Raghuviram. And he takes the chandanam and he applies it on Raghuvira, but he doesn't realize who is applying it on. And Hanuman, who is paying that beautiful alert over there, Hanuman says something to him as a parrot. He says, चित्रकूट के घाट पे भाई संतान की भीड़, तुलसी चंदन घिसे तिलक देत रघुवीर. Look at all the crowd on these banks of Chitrakuta. Tulsi is making chandanam and he's giving it to Raghuvira. This was his reminder for Tulsi to say, see, that is him. But the bhavam is so beautiful here that one bhakta is telling another bhakta saying, look, there is your paramartha. But of course, Raghuvira's magic is so much that Tulsi loses all his senses into that. So we thought this was a beautiful way to really understand what Hanumat Bhavam is, that the reason Paramahamsa could experience Rama's grace was because when Hanuman enters, there is completely Sharanagati Bhavam that enters. When Hanuman enters, he takes a bhakta. That is why we say, Tumare bhajan Ramako bhavai, because your songs have the ability to move him and also to take somebody towards him directly. So we thought it was beautiful to really ask Hanuman for that grace to be on us, so that we can ask for his kripa, but also through his kripa, see and experience Rama in our own lives.
धन्यांजलि च सुता, धन्यांजलि च सुता, त्याचे नाव हनुमंत do a Namavali. I request you all to sing along. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. 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 Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Anjaneya Swami ki Jai.
At this point, we leave us with Rama and Hanuman, so we can safely carry on to the next portion. But we will take a small break now. Closer towards Belur Math. We are also mindful that we are running a little behind schedule. So we just want to remind everybody that Belur Math, if I can use the word, is a small pit stop. The main focus for us is to reach Dakshineswar before they close over there. So we will not have too much time over there. So some of what we wanted to do as we get down, we will begin with now so that we go back into that sadhana space. So I think when we talk about Ramakrishna Paramhansa, it is impossible not to talk about Sharda Maa. Yesterday she appeared, but very briefly, and we wanted to dedicate a little bit of time today to understanding Sharda Maa, the Holy Mother. Because even if you look at a lot of writings, a lot of interpretations about Sharda Maa, many of them come from a very limited perspective, and they say that, you know, she was not really that wise. She was forced into all of this. There are a lot of negative interpretations, a lot of unnecessary speculations about who she is. But Sharda Maa really represented compassion, and you can see the continuation of Paramahamsa's thought process, how she takes that thought process and how she extends it and leaves us with such a powerful message. So I think one beautiful incident about her is to understand that we have to go from here, from the banks of Ganga into the banks of Yamuna. Paramahamsa, we know, attained the Mahabhavam. Mahabhavam is that state of experiencing 19 emotions in absolute completion. That is the bhavam he experienced so when he became Radha, so that he could attain Krishna Tattvam. But that seed of that Mahabhavam was so strong inside him that somewhere Shardama also continued that. And just 15 days after his Mahasamadhi, after Ramakrishna Paramhamsa's Mahasamadhi, Shardama made a pilgrimage to Vrindavanam. And over there she wept. She wept because she missed the physical presence of Paramahamsa. And she came back from there very changed. Even though she cried, even though she wept a lot, something changed inside her. And before she attained Samadhi many years later, this was one of the last messages that she gave to her student Annapurna. So I would like to read it in the words that she herself said, because this is the instruction that she received from Radharani in Vrindavan. And Radha is the epitome of love. Radha is Prema Bhakti Swarupini. That is why Radha is necessary to understand Krishna, because without that kind of unconditional love, you cannot love Paramatma with your heart. So what Radharani passed on to Shardama is what Shardama passed on to Annapurna, and that message is present with all of us for us to see. The message reads that, my dear child, if you want peace of mind, do not see the faults of others. Rather, see your own faults. Learn to make the whole world as your own. No one is a stranger to you. This idea takes us from the idea of love of God. Bhakti is translated often as love of God. But for Paramahamsa and for Shardama, it was love of God in man. This is what we talk about of when we talk about Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. That start to serve people around you and in them find the divine. For Shardama to experience that, undoubtedly it is the Paramakarunyam of Radharani on her. So we thought it would be fitting to pay homage to Radhama as we hope that that love enters our own systems.
राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय, राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय, बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय, बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय, राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय, राधा रानी की जय, बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय, बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय, गोपाल की जय, व्रजपाल की जय, गोपाल की जय, व्रजपाल की जय, बोलो नंद गोपाल की जय जय जय, बोलो नंद गोपाल की जय जय जय, गोपाल की जय, व्रजपाल की जय, गोपाल की जय, व्रजपाल की जय, बोलो नंद गोपाल की जय जय जय, जय जय जय, राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय, राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय, बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय 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 जय।
Going back to that idea that Paramahamsa always stressed upon was to blur the boundaries between different devatas, to be able to see Krishna is different, Rama is different, Shiva is different, Devi is different. These boundaries cause problems for us. Those problems don't exist beyond Bhuloka. And I think one very beautiful story that explains that is, we find this story in the Devi Puranam. The Devi Puranam is an Upapuranam. It is different from the Devi Bhagavatam. In this Upapuranam, Shiva is sitting one day next to Parvati, and he says that as much as I love you, Parvati, I only love you as a man loves his wife. I have taken the masculine form. Nirguna Nirakara Parabrahma has taken Saguna Sakaram now as a masculine form. And you have taken form in the feminine. So I only know what it is to love you as a man. I want to be able to be a woman, and I want you to be able to be a man. So I want us to reverse roles. So at this point, Parvati looks at him and she says, what are you suggesting? I think some Leela is about to come. And he says, I want us to take birth, but let us do one thing. Let us retain the colors that we have. You are Shyamala, you're eternally dark hued. So you retain that color, and I am Karpura Gauram. I am the color of Karpura, that is camphor. So I will retain this color. Let us go to Bhuloka. We will only swap genders. We will retain our colors. So he says, he makes a further promise. He says, Shiva is known as Ashtamurti. Shiva has 8 forms. That is the Panchabhutas, Surya, Chandra, and Kshetrajna. Together, these are called the Ashtamurtis of Shiva. So he says, all my Ashtamurtis will come as your 8 wives. But me in my Paripurna Swarupam will come as Radha. So Shyama, or rather Shyamala, becomes Shyama, and Shiva becomes Radha as per this version. And this also beautifully ties into the understanding of how when Paramahamsa became Radha himself, when he entered the state of Radha, it was basically him saying Shivoham, Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. So there are so many different ideas that communicate how Radha Tattvam, Krishna Tattvam, they're all connected to whether you look at Shaktam, whether you look at Shaivam, they're expressions of the same idea. For this reason, when he became Radha so effortlessly, he was able to play Holi with Krishna, because that bhavam is an unmatched one in Vrindavanam. When they both play Holi together, there is absolutely no restraint of love that they both shower on each other. And this is an idea that we see with multiple bhaktas, that in Krishna Bhakti, to be able to play with the Lord is considered to be the greatest kind of expression, because when you play with the Lord, He's your friend. He becomes your Sakha. And when you love your Sakha with all your heart, your emotions towards that Sakha flow effortlessly. So he thought we would take that bhavam of Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa talks to Swami Vivekananda about how he played Holi with Krishna, and we wanted to take that bhavam and communicate it in an abhang written by Chokhamela, which says that I'm seeing and I'm watching my Sakha Panduranga, who is playing Abira Gulala Udhalita Ranga, which describes the scene of Panduranga playing Holi, and on one hand Krishna by Jamuna, on the other hand Panduranga by Chandrabhaga, and on the third hand Dakshineswar by Ganga. So there are so many different bhavams that we wanted to communicate, and we felt this abhang somewhere conveyed that.
Abira gulal udhalit rang, abira gulal udhalit rang, abira gulal udhalit rang, नाथा घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग, abira gulal udhalit rang rang rang, abira gulal udhalit rang, नाथा घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग, नाथा घरी नाचे, नाथा घरी नाचे, नाथा घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग, अबीर गुलाल उधळीत रंग, नाथा घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग, सखा पांडुरंग, सखा पांडुरंग, वाळवंटी गाव आम्ही वाळवंटी नाचू, 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 चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने, चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने अंग अंगनाव, चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने अंग अंगनाव, चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने, चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने, चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने अंग अंगनाव, विठ्ठलाचे नाव घेऊ, विठ्ठलाचे नाव घेऊ, विठ्ठलाचे नाव घेऊ, होऊन निसंग, नाथा घरी नाचे, नाथा घरी नाचे, नाथा घरी नाचे
So much can be said about Panduranga Vithala, but we are scared if he comes, it will become Pandharpur Yatra. So we have to stay in Hansa Yatra and stay true to this cause. But we could not keep him out because he wanted to come. So that was his decision. And I think that is also Krishna Tattvam in one beautiful glimpse, right? That any bhakta who is drawn to Krishna, there is just so much of joy. The Madhura Bhavam, on one side we call him Madhura Adhipataya Akhilam Madhuram, that everything about him is so sweet and so enticing and just drawing. And that is Krishna Tattvam and that is Kali Tattvam. A lot of people have this understanding that they are very different forces, that Kali is a very, very serious force, whereas Krishna is a much gentler force. But they both represent the same aspects in very different ways. So as we go closer to the Mahakshetram of Dakshineswar, we will also slowly experience for ourselves how does Krishna and Kali, how did they connect? Because Paramhansa saw them as one. And it's also lovely how, as we said yesterday, he first was the priest in the Krishna temple before he went on to become the priest in the Kali temple. And his fondness for Krishna was so much that not only did he sing of him, not only did he see him, he also showed Swami Vivekananda once, saying, you want to see me as a Gopi Radha? And at that point, Vivekananda followed him and he took him inside into a room and he showed him the experience of Radha. And Vivekananda, who was skeptical of this, writes about it much later, saying he in fact has songs that he has composed on Radharani, which happened to him only because of Ramakrishna Paramhansa. And he writes in his book later saying that I realized at some point in my journey that I would have become a very intellectual person who would not have been able to experience the rasa of life unless Guruji had not given me that bhagyam of seeing Radharani. So on one hand, Krishna and Radha, they just opened up Swami Vivekananda's approach from a head approach to it combined the heart angle and took him, where did it take him and where did it take all of us collectively? So much to thank from one central source of Krishna and Radha, so much that emerged. One central source of Kali, so much that emerged for Paramhamsa. So many different bhavams that we can see as we meander through the Ganga till we reach. And I think it's also a nice time to talk about the aspect of how Krishna and Kali are so connected to each other. There are various stories that depict how they are. In one sense, as we saw, Shyama becomes Shyamala, Shyamala becomes Shyama. That's an interchangeable equation. But in Kolkata itself, you have something called the Krishna Kali Mandir. That is a temple where she gives darshanam both as Krishna and as Kali. And in the south of India, if you come to Tamil Nadu, in the temple of Mannargudi, you have Rajagopala Swami. Although Rajagopala is Krishna, Rajagopala stands on top of a Sri Chakram. So he is also worshipped as Gopala Sundari. So this is another beautiful form. What is Krishna and Kali here, what combines? In the south, it combines as Lalita Mahatripura Sundari and Gopalam. They come together and they form Gopala Sundari. So there are also a lot of mantras connected to that and it's a very deep science. But as we do that, I think it would be appropriate to sing a little bit about Krishna, and we invite you to think of Kali as we do this. So this song we would hear is about Krishna on the banks of Jamuna and how that creates such a feeling of love. And if you look at Krishna Bhaktas and Kali Bhaktas, whoever came to them for whatever they came, let's not forget Tenali Ramakrishna, who came and then said, "Oh Amma, what happens if you get a cold?" So there he came asking for wit and humor. Others went to her for moksha. Same thing with Krishna. Some went to him asking for his entire Akshohini Sena. Some went asking him saying, "You become my Partha Sarathi." So whatever it is that you ask, these are the gods that respond. And we thought we would celebrate Krishna's and Kali's ability to respond through a beautiful song.
Jashomati Nandan Brajbar Nagar, Jashomati Nandan Brajbar Nagar, Gokul Nandan ka, Gokul Nandan ka. Oh, Jashomati Nandan Brajbar Nagar, Jashomati Nandan Brajbar Nagar, Gokul Ranjan ka, Gokul
although there is lots more to say, I know the excitement is also docking as we are slowly about to reach. So we will hand over the mic for the exciting next part, which we can see open in front of our eyes. And the timing couldn't be better. Namaskaram. As we head towards the crescendo moment when we arrive at Dakshineswar, many beautiful aspects about this kshetra can be spoken of. But instead of dwelling on the historical aspects, because that is a huge volume in itself, if you just take that name Dakshina Ishwar, it's made up of two very interesting names. Dakshina means south, and Ishwara, as we know, is Parashiva, or the Lord. An interesting aspect of this name is that another version of the same name is Dakshinamurti. Dakshineshwar, Dakshinamurti. Shiva is called Dakshinamurti, we typically understand because he sits facing the south, because he sits in the northern position as the Guru facing the south. But there is another very beautiful explanation of this word Dakshinamurti and what it means. When in the story that we began yesterday about Sati leaving to her father's abode, very beautifully it concludes itself today when we know that she goes there and Daksha Yajnam she destroys. That is why if you look, whenever the word Dakshayini appears in most texts, it is almost always followed by the words Daksha Yajna Vinashini. Because Dakshayini suggests that she is the daughter of Daksha, but Daksha Yajna Vinashini suggests that if you do not understand that she is Parashakti and if you do not understand that she belongs to Shiva, then she will destroy that entire thought process. So she is Daksha Yajna Vinashini. Of course, after Sati leaves her body, news is sent to Shiva and he sends Veerabhadra and Bhadrakali to destroy Daksha's Yajnam. And it is at this point that Brahma, Vishnu and the other devatas, they decide that they must come and appease him, because the vidvamsam of that, the destruction of that Yajnam is not good for Lokakshema, it's not good for the welfare of the world. So they all appear now to Kailasha and they are wondering, how is he going to be? What can the mood of somebody who has just lost their wife be? And to such an untimely episode. So as they appear, they're extremely fearful. But when they appear in Kailasa, they're expecting to see him in Raudra Tandavam. But instead, when they all appear, Indra looks at Brahma and he says, are we in the right place? Is this Kailasam? Because they expected all of the anger, all of the fury of Shiva. But when they enter Kailasha, they see a massive banyan tree. Akshaya Suvarna Vatavriksha Moola Sthite, at the base of an endless golden banyan tree, Chitram Vatataror Mule. There's a very strange happening at the base of the banyan tree. Vriddha Shishyaha Gurur Yuva. There is an old guru, there are old students and there is a young guru. And how is that guru teaching them? Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam. The guru is in complete silence, and with that silence, all the doubts of the Shishyas are being answered. Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. So when the devatas saw this, they were all wondering, we were expecting the extreme Ugratvam, but what we saw here is extreme Saumyatvam, extreme Jnanam. What does this mean? And at this point, Vishnu, who is the only one who can explain Shiva Tattvam, he says that Shiva eternally has Shakti on his left side. Now, Shakti externally went to Daksha's Yajnam, and then Daksha's Yajnam is destroyed and she leaves her body. When we say leaves her body in Puranic language, it is not literally that she dies, it is that she got absorbed back into him. So if you look at the anatomy of the body, the Vama Bhagam is Shakti. Vame Bhage Dayardra is what we call her. Vama Bhagam is Shakti. Dakshina Bhagam is the right hand, which is him. The right side is him. Now Vamam has gone back inside him. So what is left? Only Dakshinam is left. That is why he is Dakshinamurti in Kailasha. So when you look at Dakshinamurti, it is not looking at Shiva alone. You are looking at Shiva and Shakti. And if you pay attention to the Murti of Dakshinamurti, the Vigraham or the Swarupam, there you can see Ardhanarishwara Tattvam in him. His right earring is a Kundala, which is worn by male gods. His left earring is a Tatanka, which is worn by female gods. Same Tattvam you will see in Nataraja Murti as well. It is a Kundala here, it is a Tatanka here. They are not identical. It is suggesting that Shiva and Shakti are both hidden in this aspect. So here it is very befitting now that we are reaching Dakshineswar, where the name itself suggests that this is completely his kshetram, that he is here, and on top of him it is her. And that aspect of Kali being on top of Shiva is so beautiful, because when we look at this story, as we have said in our earlier Hansa Yatra also, many people have interpreted this story in later knowledge to be that Kali was very bloodthirsty and Kali could not control her anger, and then her husband lay down in front of her to control her anger, and then Kali embarrassedly stepped on him. But this story does not do justice to Kali Tattvam or Shakti Tattvam, because it suggests that Kali is reckless. Kali was not reckless. When she stands on him, she stands on him very confidently. Both her feet are on him with 100% assurance and knowledge that it is her husband. But this idea that when Kali stands on him, she is what gives him life. If you look at the word Shiva, in Shiva, the pranam of that word Shiva comes from Imkaram, from E. If you take away E, Shiva becomes Shava. So without Kali, even he is inert. This is exactly what Shankaracharya said in Saundarya Lahari. He said, Shiva Shaktya Yukto, Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum. It is because of you that he is becoming Shakti Manta. How do you identify somebody Shakti? Only when it expresses themselves. So when you see Kali standing atop Shiva, which you will in a few minutes, remember that it is an expression of Prakriti through Purusha. That is how beautifully they are connected. Kali stands on Shiva, Lalita Mahatripura Sundari sits on Shiva. The idea is the same, that she is his inseparable force, and from him she emerges and into him she dissolves. So celebrating that mutual love between them, we take a shlokam from the Kali Sahasranamam. This is one of the many Kali Sahasranamams, but this is called the Kakara Sahasranamam, meaning all of the names, the 1008 names that come here, all start with Kakaram, because that is Kali's Aksharam. And this Sahasranamam is given by Mahakaleshwara himself, by Shiva. Shiva does the stuti of this Sahasranamam. So we present you one shlokam from this Sahasranamam before we move into Namavali, celebrating the energy of Kali herself.
Vina dhyanam vina yantram vina pujadina priye vina kleshadibhi devi Deha dukkhadibihi vina panchashunyasthita tara sarvante सर्वान्ते कालिका स्थिता सर्वान्ते कालिका स्थिता अनन्तकोटि ब्रह्मा राजदण्डाग्रके शिवे शिवे अम्ब परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी अम्ब परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय मां आदि पराशक्ति पालय मां त्रिपुर सुंदरी राजराजेश्वरी
In the temple of Dakshineswar, you will see another beautiful phenomenon. When you look at the mother, you will see that her right side has the Varada and the Abhayahastams, that is, she's blessing, and it is the left side that has the Ayudhas. And Paramhamsa would always look at people who were fearful of her, saying that no, she's very fierce, I don't know how to go to her, and he would say, just look at her. She has all the qualities of a mother. She knows when to bless and be gentle with a child. She knows when to be firm with a child. So there's nothing to fear. This is the quality of every human mother that you see. Then isn't it natural that the Divine Mother has this in the largest capacity? So that's something, one aspect of her iconography, because when you look at Devata Murtis, the Ayudhas, the Hastas, they convey certain bhavams. And when you look at it with that bhavam, that is called bhavopasana. When you do upasana of that bhavam, then that Ayudha starts to, the energy in that starts to protect. And if you look at Kali again, one wonders, is there Shiva inside? Is it Kali alone? How does one look at her? But I think one beautiful aspect again, which we began yesterday and finds a conclusion today, is that we said that when Shiva first saw the 10 forms of her, of Devi, the first of the Dasha Mahavidyas is Kali Vidya. After Kali Vidya, you have Tara Vidya, Shri Vidya, Chinnamasta, Bagalamukhi, etc. The first Vidya that one, from where all the other Vidyas are believed to have been derived, is Kali Vidya. And now if you come, the reason that Dakshineswar is considered to be a Siddha Kshetram, a Siddha Bhumi or a Siddha Kshetram is that Kshetram where Upasana bears fruit. So as Paramahamsa's own life is testimony for us to see, whatever tapas you do in this Kshetram, it has the potential, if that tapas is sincere, it has the potential to bear fruit over here. So any small amount of tapas here yields result. And the reason, one of the reasons for this is, if you look at Kali, typically Kali is considered, yes, one of the Dasha Mahavidyas, but many schools have said, yes, Kali Upasana is very, very different. But in a more mature understanding, Kali is considered to be the one who gives Siddhi for any Upasana. If you look at the order of the Navadurgas, something that is very prevalent in this part of the country, you will see the order says Prathamam Shailaputricha, Dvitiyam Brahmacharini, Tritiyam Chandraghantati, Kushmandeti Chaturthakam, Panchamam Skandamateti, Shashtam Katyayaniticha, Saptamam Kalaratriti, Mahagauriti Chashtamam, Navamam Siddhidatricha. Navamam is Siddhi. The Siddhidatri is the ultimate one because Siddhi is the ultimate goal. Now, if you look at Siddhidatri over here as this aspect of the final one, the one who liberates is the one who gives Siddhi, Moksha Siddhi. If you look in the aspect of her Kshetram, where he is called Mahakaleshwara, she is called Mahakali in that Kshetram. In Ujjaina Kshetram, she is called as Mahakali. But the locals don't call her as Mahakali, they call her as Harasiddhi. Harasiddhi is nothing but Siddhidatri. The one who gives the blessing of Hara, the one who gives Shiva's ultimate Sayujyam, the proximity to live in Shiva, that one is called Siddhidatri, that one is called Kali. So when you look at Kali, without her permission, nobody crosses Kala Chakra. Without her permission, nobody gets moksha. Without her anugraham, what moksha? Without her anugraham, nobody gets bhoga either. So Kali is that force. She is the gateway for anything that has to come from him to us. Kali becomes that force. And to say that she is a two-way gateway, that she is always consuming, Kalo Jagat Bhakshakaha, she is always consuming, because time does that. Time consumes everything that it sees. That is why her tongue is open stretched. So as you see various facets of Kali, various aspects of her tattvam start to emerge, but we want this to stay worshipful, because intellectually we can keep talking about it. But the point is to take it from here to here. So we would like to slowly bring this to an interesting episode that Shankaracharya says. When you look at Shakti, you should not differentiate her from Shiva. When you look at Shiva, you should not differentiate him from her. We saw the first example. You're looking at Shiva and the Tatankas remind you that both are together. But if you look at Shakti, when you look at, say, Kamakshi in Kanchipuram, do you see Shiva over there? Externally, there is no Shiva. Although she is supposed to be seated on Sadashiva Paryanka Nilayam, she is supposed to be seated on Shiva, we don't see Shiva over there. But that's not how Mahatmas view Paramatma. When one Mahatma visited Kanchipuram, he says, he looked at Kamakshi and he said, what a thief. Such an unsatisfied thief she is, because she was supposed to have half the body. Vama Bhagam was meant for her, Dakshina Bhagam was meant for him. But when I come here, I don't see any Dakshina Bhagam, because Vama Bhagam is red color. Her color is red. His color is white. This Bhakta said, when I come here, there is no white at all. It is completely red. So she was not satisfied So therefore, he did not even say she, he addressed it to her. He said, you are not satisfied, therefore you took off from the left side, you went and sat in the right side also, so it's completely you. Then he contradicts, he doesn't contradict himself, he asks himself, so is it you or is it him? Because there is two big lakshanas of him on you. One is the Chandralekha. Chandralekha belongs to him. So I see that that lakshanam is his. Second is, I see the third eye. That is also his only. So he is there. Then is it him or is it you? No, no. I look at you. You are Sakalam Arunabham. You are the color of Raktavarnam, of Arunavarnam. So that is your color. And then I look at your breasts, which are your Matru Poshanasthanam, from where you nourish the world. So that is you. So is it you? Is it him? I don't know. When I look at whichever Swarupam of you, I don't know whether it is you or I don't know whether it is him, but I do Namaskaram to both of you. That is the bhavam of Shiva Shakti Ekatvam, of Shiva Shakti Tattvam. That when you see them together. So we would like to invite you to see that bhavam when you see Dakshineswari Kali. She's standing on Shiva, but does not mean Shiva is separate. Shiva is here in the Hridayam eternally. And I think with that we slowly bring this to a conclusion with an arti to Bhavatarini and to Bhava himself, and take that arti with us as we close towards Dakshineswar.
Ambe Gauri Maiya, Jaya Mangala Muruti Maiya. 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 तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्म शिव रे। तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्म शिव रे। मांग सिंदूर विराजत टीका, मांग सिंदूर विराजत टीका, मांग सिंदूर विराजत टीका, मांग सिंदूर विराजत टीका। टीका मृग मद को, टीका मृग मद को। अम्बे गौरी मैया, जय मंगल मूर्ति मैया। अम्बे गौरी मैया। माता जय ओम कालिकाम्बिकये, 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 माता जय ओम कालिकाम्बिकये। Since we are reaching Kali, and it's popularly known that we never reach the deity before we reach the Bhakta, which is why we went to Belur Math first. But I would like to again acknowledge that before we enter the temple, we would still have to remember the Bhakta again and then do Kali Smarana. So please follow this Namavali with me. Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam Sharanye. Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam Sharanye. Ramakrishna Paramhansa Mahatmane ki Jai.
There are two aspects to a kshetram. One is the physical aspect of seeing the deity, but many of our shastras talk about how seeing the devata vigraham is secondary. When you enter a kshetram, that kshetram is the devata. So it is not Kali inside Dakshineswar, Kali is Dakshineswar. So when you place your first foot onto the land outside of the ferry, my invitation is to place it with the acknowledgement that you are stepping on Kali, do a namaskaram and then step. Then that kshetram speaks to you. That is why Paramahamsa attained Siddhi here. Because for him, Kali was not in just the Vigraham. She was in that space. That Vigraham is a reminder of the power of the space. Another beautiful aspect of this kshetram is that, like many Sanatana kshetras, it has this beauty of a trio of what Appai Dikshitar called as the Ratna Trayam. If you take all of Sanatana Dharma's devatas, you'd have three devatas, three ratnas, three gems. You will see them all, this trio always coming together. Shiva, Shakti and Vishnu. In Chidambara Kshetram, Shiva is as Nataraja, Shakti is there as Shivakama Sundari and Vishnu is there as Govindaraja Swami. You look at Sri Rangam, Narayana is there as Ranganatha Swami. Very close by, Shiva is there as Jambukeshwara and Amma is there as Akhilandeshwari. So this trio is a very, very beautiful and a very important part of understanding Devata Samanvayam, of grouping together different Devatas. Krishna and Shakti, Krishna and Kali are two aspects of the same divinity. One is masculine, one is feminine. Both are inseparable from Shiva. So we may or may not have the time to have darshanam. We do not know what she has planned. We do not know where the crowd stop. But do not be dismayed if you do not see their vigrahas. Just stepping in here is a bhagyam. Just being able to stand in the presence of the place, this soil is purified by that Mahatma's touch and that Mahatma's space. But ultimately, as much as we can discuss so much, we can sing so much, what is important is we remember that Prema Bhakti is the easiest way to approach. So as we reach, we invite you to absorb that Prema Bhakti for yourselves and Prema Bhakti for us in the past 2 days, as it has come out multiple times as Krishna. So we would like to conclude with a song on Krishna, because Ramakrishna is the entry to Kali Tattvam and Krishna is the entry into Ananda Tattvam. So we will conclude with that.
Dava Vibho, Dava Vibho, Karuna Karamadhava, Dava Vibho, Karuna Karamadhava, Deva Daya Nidhe, Devaki Nanda
I think we just want you to be with all the emotions that you're feeling as we come closer. So any external input will change from that. So just leaving us now in this ferry completely in her hands. How she takes us from here is totally left to us, but she is on my left and I will no longer be a tour guide. You can see and experience that joy of Kali for yourselves. We hope that all of you got a glimpse of Jagannatha, and I think one thing that many Mahatmas across Bharatvarsha have always said is when you go to a temple for darshanam, it's not important if you see the deity, it's important if the deity sees you. So as long as that has happened, which we believe it has, we would like to slowly bring this yatra to a close. Yatra, the sail, we would like to bring it to a close, because as we go back, of course we can happily sing and happily talk more, but the objective is not only on more content. The objective is to process all of what we have said and to keep that in our heart as we go back. This entire yatra has been magic for all of us. From the first time that we came together in Chennai to do this, which was happened on the day of an Amavasya, from then to here, it has been nothing except Kali's grace, and to have seen that grace roll out for us has been extremely special. A concert is one kind of an experience, but to actually sing and speak and take those Vak Kusumas and offer them at her feet as we physically go there is an unmatchable experience for all of us. This yatra, this entire journey has been so special that we really hope that she calls again and again. And as we bring this to a close, I think one beautiful way to always end anything is to take Bhagavat Namam, because in whatever form, Paramhansa used to say this. He said, people wrongly say that we should not be mad. It's a good thing to be mad, but it's important to be mad for Paramatma. So we would like to take us through names that have the potential to make us mad for him and or her, whatever you choose to refer to them as. This particular Namavali is come as a request earlier today, so we would like to honor that request and take up this Namavali. Of course, it's a very long one, so we will just be taking some excerpts from this. We ask and invite you to join us in this Namavali. This is the one name that has uplifted so many people. This is the one name that resounds in the part of the country that we come from. This is the name of Govinda. Govinda has many, many different meanings. One of them, the word go, means Indriyas, and Govinda is the one who gives life to the Indriyas. Govinda is the name of the one who lifts up Bhudevi, so Varahaswami is called Govinda. Govinda is the one who is bathed by cows, so Krishna is called Govinda. Govinda is the one who brightens the earth with his kiranas, so Surya is called Govinda, and today is Adivaram. So there are so many beautiful ways in which the name Govinda finds an appropriateness as we conclude today. This is a Namavali that we all believe has in many ways shaped us, so we would like to conclude with this Namavali and a Mangalam.
Srinivasa Govinda, Shri Venkatesha Govinda. Srinivasa Govinda, Shri Venkatesha Govinda. Govinda Hari Govinda, Venkataramana Govinda. Govinda Hari Govinda, Gokula Nandana Govinda. श्रीनिवास गोविन्द श्री वेङ्कटेश गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द गोकुलनन्दन गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द भक्तवत्सल गोविन्द भागवत प्रिय गोविन्द भक्तवत्सल गोविन्द भागवत प्रिय गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द गोकुलनन्दन गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द पुराणपुरुष गोविन्द पुण्डरीकाक्ष गोविन्द पुराणपुरुष गोविन्द पुण्डरीकाक्ष गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द गोकुलनन्दन गोविन्द श्रीनिवास गोविन्द श्री वेङ्कटेश गोविन्द श्रीनिवास गोविन्द श्री वेङ्कटेश गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द गोकुलनन्दन गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द गोकुलनन्दन गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द श्रीनिवास गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द भक्तवत्सल गोविन्द भागवत प्रिय गोविन्द पुराणपुरुष गोविन्द पुण्डरीकाक्ष गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द गोविन्द हरि गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द वेङ्कटरमण गोविन्द सदा सर्वत्र गोविन्द नाम संकीर्तनं गोविन्द गोविन्द नवनीत चोराय नन्दादि गोप गोरक्षिणे गोपिका वल्लभाय नवनीत चोराय नन्दादि गोप गोरक्षिणे गोपिका वल्लभाय नारद मुनीन्द्रनुत नामधेयाय ते नारायणानन्दतीर्थ गुरवे जय मङ्गलं नित्य शुभमङ्गलम् साकेत निलयाय सनकमुनि पूज्याय सरयो नदी तीर विहरणाय राकेन्दुवदनाय रम्यकुलनिलयाय राजाधिराजाय राघवाय जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, समस्त भक्त मंडली की, समस्त साधु मंडली की, समस्त संत मंडली की, ब्रह्मैव सत्यम। ओम